Eric Smalls and Rolando stood inside the arena as the crowd roared with intense anticipation. The atmosphere was heavy with excitement, tension, and chaos waiting to explode. Above the ring, the prize hung high from the rafters, shining under the bright lights, representing everything both men had fought for. There were no allies, no shortcuts, and no mercy. Only one rule mattered: climb the ladder, grab the prize, and survive whatever came next. Eric Smalls paced slowly in the ring, eyes locked upward. His expression showed focus mixed with determination. He knew this was not going to be a normal match. Ladder matches were about endurance, timing, and pain tolerance. Rolando stood across from him, silent and composed, staring at the same prize. His body language was different, calm, controlled, and dangerous. The bell rang. Both men immediately moved forward, colliding in the center of the ring. Eric Smalls threw quick strikes, trying to build early momentum. Rolando blocked and responded with heavy punches that echoed through the arena. The impact forced Eric backward into the ropes. Rolando followed with a powerful clothesline that flipped Eric to the mat. The crowd reacted loudly as Rolando dominated early control. He dragged Eric up and slammed him down with a spine-shaking power move, showing his strength advantage. Eric rolled out of the ring to recover, but Rolando followed, refusing to give him space. Outside the ring, Rolando grabbed Eric and threw him hard into the barricade. The steel rattled loudly. Eric collapsed but quickly pulled himself up using the edge of the ring apron. Rolando looked under the ring and pulled out a steel ladder, sliding it into the ring with force. The ladder became the focus of the match. Rolando entered the ring and set it up directly under the hanging prize. The crowd began to buzz louder. He started climbing step by step, reaching upward. Eric suddenly rushed in and pushed the ladder, causing Rolando to lose balance and jump down to avoid falling. Eric seized the opportunity and began climbing instead. He moved fast, skipping steps, trying to reach the top as quickly as possible. But Rolando recovered and grabbed the ladder, shaking it violently. Eric lost grip and fell hard onto the ropes. Rolando turned the ladder sideways and swung it into Eric's midsection. The metal impact echoed loudly, and Eric dropped to the mat in pain. Rolando leaned the ladder in the corner, then charged at Eric with a running shoulder tackle. Eric moved just in time, causing Rolando to crash into the ladder instead. The ladder collapsed, and Rolando fell to one knee. The crowd was now fully invested, cheering and reacting to every moment. Eric grabbed a second ladder from ringside and slid it into the ring. Now there were two ladders inside, increasing the danger. Eric set one up and began climbing again, but Rolando caught him halfway and delivered a powerful powerbomb off the ladder, crashing Eric hard into the mat. The arena shook with the impact. Rolando slowly climbed again, but Eric pulled himself up and followed him. Both men met near the top of the ladder, exchanging brutal punches while balancing high above the ring. The crowd stood on their feet, sensing a dangerous moment. Eric hit a sharp elbow strike. Rolando responded with a headbutt. Both men wobbled dangerously. The ladder shook violently as they struggled to maintain balance. Suddenly, Rolando grabbed Eric and delivered a devastating suplex from the ladder. Both men crashed down onto the mat, the sound echoing through the arena. The crowd went silent for a moment before exploding in shock and excitement. Neither man moved for several seconds. Slowly, Eric began crawling toward the ropes. Rolando pushed himself up using the ladder. Both were exhausted, but neither was willing to quit. Pain covered their bodies, but determination kept them moving. Rolando set the ladder back up first and started climbing again. Eric followed behind him, grabbing his leg and trying to slow him down. Rolando kicked him away and continued upward. At the top, both men reached for the prize at the same time. Fingers stretched inches away from victory. The tension was unbearable. Eric suddenly pulled Rolando's arm and slammed it against the ladder. Rolando nearly lost his grip but recovered quickly. He responded with a powerful strike that stunned Eric. Eric slipped slightly but held on. He gathered his strength and delivered a final desperate punch. Rolando lost balance. He fell from the ladder and hit the mat hard. Eric Smalls remained alone on the ladder, breathing heavily, barely standing. With shaking hands, he reached up and unhooked the prize. The bell rang repeatedly, signaling the end of the match. The crowd erupted in cheers. Eric Smalls slowly climbed down, exhausted but victorious. He raised the prize high as fireworks went off in the arena. Rolando lay on the mat, staring up at the lights, showing both exhaustion and respect for the battle. It was not just a match. It was a war of endurance, pain, and survival. And Eric Smalls stood as the final